Hello and welcome to Tent Talk with Liz and Beth. I'm Liz Wilson.
And I'm Beth Wally.
Beth, it's been a while.
It has been. I can't tell you how much I have missed your adorable face.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's been months and we've had a wild couple of months.
Oh, you don't even. Yes, we have been. It's been crazy.
Yeah. I mean, busy's good, right?
Absolutely.
Good problem to have, but everybody's been pretty bonkers. And the last episode we did was in honor of Mo retiring. When Mo left, we had to bring in somebody.
With some big shoes to fill.
Big shoes. Big shoes. So, and I found him and he's here with us today and he's going to tell us his story. His name is Josh Miller. Let's welcome Josh Miller.
Hello, hello.
Josh, are you surviving 3 months in? Oh my God.
I am surviving. It's definitely a completely new world for me, but definitely surviving, kind of taking a little bumps along the way, but it's been great.
Awesome.
We just threw you straight into the fire, didn't we?
We did. So I'm sure in the last 3 months, you've had some time to meet some of our team members, but I'm sure there's a lot of them that still don't know you, that don't know your story. And the first question I ask people is, how did you end up doing this very peculiar job in tenting? Because the stories are never regular. The stories are always weird. And I know you have one.
Yeah. So I got started in the tent world when I was about 21 years old. So before that, I had actually worked with my father in construction for many years, and he ended up moving from Florida to South Carolina. So then that left a little hole for me. Well, that's when I found Kirby Rentals and just went to go give it a shot there, and started out as just a basic labor over there. I never knew of what a tent was. I never paid attention to them before I had started working there. And so, but I got in, started traveling a little bit, and then I realized that I actually really liked it a lot. So then I kept kind of pushing forward, trying to learn more, trying to do more, and wanted to be the guy that could do the bigger tent, right? Because then it's a pride thing out there, right? So you want to know the coolest thing, you want to be able to put up the biggest structure, you want to be able to do it faster, better, whatever. So then it became a little competition for myself and all my fellow coworkers. So it really pushed me forward in it, and worked my way up through being a foreman, and then I moved into project management, and then ultimately got into operations management after that. But just really, it's a unique industry, but that's what I really like. Is I like the funness of it, but also my eyes were opened up tremendously when we went through the whole COVID era, to where when you see a lot of businesses, actually they really struggled. A lot of people's jobs, they lost their jobs and all. And it was questionable at the very beginning because we were all event based, so we only did event work. And when that went away, but we saw the pivot of what could come to life, it really kind of just reinforced to me that, wow, I think I'm in a good industry here, and just keep kind of pushing forward and doing what I do.
COVID, I think, was so transformative for so many folks in their careers, right? Like businesses, either they thrived or they folded. And I think people were like, oh yeah, I love what I do, and it reinforces it. But it was definitely pivotal for a lot of people. So bringing that up, I think it resonates with a whole lot of folks. So you started as an installer, boots on the ground, doing the thing, then became a really good one, then became a leader. So at what point in your career, like how far in were you when you became a leader, even just like in the field?
Yeah, so early on, like I said, I was just a laborer once I started liking it. But about 2 or 3 years in, I really started progressing. Kind of at that time, it was early on. So when I started, it was kind of like the old school. I started with the old school tent people,
building them in flip flops and tank tops. Those
they had
guys.
a cooler of beer in the back of the truck. We're out putting up tents. Right?
A roadie, yes, the whole thing.
And so how you progressed back in those days was you had to be able to drive the box trucks, right? So then I got up and I got my CDL Class B license. So then I could start driving and taking my own team out. And that was a couple years in. And once I started at that foreman level to where I was taking a team out by myself and going out and performing work, that's when I kept trying to elevate myself to start doing, bigger tents, right? Bigger projects, multi-structure jobs or bigger level golf tournaments, if you will, at that time, to then, just kind of keep pushing myself forward to, I knew that I wanted to progress in my career. I knew I wanted to be into leadership and all that. And I knew that I had to take the steps to make myself better to get there. It wasn't going to be, I can keep doing the same and, get to where I wanted to be at.
So what did you think you learned about leadership when you transitioned into being in that, serving as a leader in that environment? Because it's not the same as some other types of leadership, but being in the field and being a leader, what did you learn about it?
It's huge. So I learned the very big difference between a boss and a leader, right? Mm-hmm. So the boss barks at everybody, tells them what to do, and sits back and lets them do it all, right? Well, I realized early on that didn't bring the team around, and it didn't kind of get buy-in from a team around me if you behave in that way. They want a leader, right? They want the guy that, when you got a hard day ahead of you, you're out there with them, right? We all share in this hard day. We all share this long day. We're all out there working in this rainy day or this bad weather together. And once I continued to kind of see that, that really got buy-in from the team, then guys, more and more guys, they want to be around you. They want to work with you, and they want to kind of be on the jobs that you're on because they know who you are. But what it did was it showed me that now I didn't always have to be around them. So when I wasn't around them, if I put them on a project on the other side of a job site, I knew that they were working to get it done just as if I was right there with them because they had buy-in from me. They knew I was there supporting them and working with them. And so they were bought into me.
It's trust.
It is.
Yeah. That relationship there, when you know that they respect you and that you can walk away and they're going to do what you need them to do. It's an amazing feeling.
Well, they trust
Absolutely.
you and you trust them. But I think there's a feeling when you know that the person that you report to trusts you, right? It's empowering. So I think that's beautiful. And you seem to have learned that pretty early on in your career.
I did, only because, part of learning the what to do's is also watching what not to do's, right? And so I did realize early on to where through some of the early days there were some bad foremen or bad managers at that point, to where you started realizing like some mistakes they were making or how they were handling themselves didn't really serve, it wasn't accomplishing a task, or it wasn't, they constantly struggled to have team members on their crew remain there. And so that helped push me a lot as well, is seeing a lot of the bad moves made by others. And along the way, I've just always tried to take little tools from all different aspects around me and put them all into my toolbox to make sure that I make myself the best in the situation.
Yeah, that's smart. Back in the Kirby days, you worked with Jared, right there?
Yeah, Jared. So once I moved into the operations leadership role, I think I was probably there only a few months, and we were working to rebuild Kirby, and so they'd kind of tanked a little bit. So we had lost some really key folks, and that's when Jared actually came over and joined the team at Kirby. So we started working together, and he was a lead. I mean, he was, back in those days, the foreman, we called them project managers, but they were active workers on a job site, right? So that was like our main tent guy on the site. He could just control the job plus put up, whatever needed to be done. And that's what Jared came in doing for us. He was running. He very quickly became our go-to guy and putting up, all the big jobs would go to him, all the big golf tournaments, and they landed on him.
Were the scopes of these projects similar to, I don't want to say similar to what we do now, but on the size of the projects?
So on some golf tournaments, we could be building on that job for 3 months straight.
Oh, wow.
While we're working through it. So there's obviously all different levels of a golf tournament, but there is some similarities when you get the one-off structures on some, strategic job sites, to where there's a one-off job there's a lot of similarities, because what we do, it's the same tent that we take and we're putting it up somewhere. It's just a different usage, right? And it could just get a different fit and finish at the end, depending on what it's being used for.
That's a nice way of saying it, Josh. I can say it in other ways that would be less nice. So, so Beth, you have not had the privilege of working in the event industry and doing tents.
No,
The
no.
privilege or the pain, but it's crazy, right? Because it's the same stuff, but the finish is everything. It's everything. Months in the finish.
We did one event after I started, when I first started back when it was American Covers, and that was enough for me to go, no, this is not our forte.
I tell you what, we can look at some of our clients and think that, they have high expectations and they can be demanding at times and stuff. But I tell you, the worst of it is in the event world, because their backs are against the wall. This is all showpiece stuff, right? They're trying to put on a wow factor for an event, and they can be over the top demanding.
I did that stuff for 20 years, and it was my entire personality.
How's your blood pressure?
It's bad. I gave myself like an autoimmune disease from it, from like chronic stress. But I learned a lot. It's like being in a pressure cooker. So
Yes.
You have to figure out how to solve problems really, really quickly. There's no tomorrow. It is happening. It's happening, and that's it. Doors are happening whether you're ready or not. So you better be ready. So
yeah, it definitely taught me a lot in that regard as well, because the event's going to start on that day, no matter what. The cameras are going to start rolling, and you got to be ready, whether, it's happening no matter what. And so, like Liz was saying, it really does kind of forge you a little bit. And it got to the point where it was really exciting for me as well. I would kind of start getting into a lot of the chaos and try to bring it back on, bring it back online, if you will. And in those moments, when the fire's raging, you're just ready to say, hey, listen, I'm ready to go bag groceries somewhere, right? I'm done with all of this. But as soon as the dust settles and it's all done and everything's good, then you're like, wow, I can't wait for the next one. It's such a wild ride.
So how does it compare to what you're doing now? Like the excitement level or the planning level? Do you find it easier? Do you find it harder? Do you like go, oh my gosh, if a client's got to push, how do you feel about that?
It's definitely different, right? And so that's where it's been exciting for me, because I've been in the event world for all of my career. So basically 20 years I was from the event world. So now it's a completely new side of the business, which is exciting for me. I love digging in. I love learning something new. I love kind of just trying to figure something else out. And so it's really been a blast for me, because I'm starting to see a lot of stuff where I felt like before I saw it all, right? I've been through it all. But then you realize you're like, wow, no, I haven't been a part of that. I haven't noticed this, right? So some of the more tricky jobs, they're fun, right? In the moment, it could be a big headache, but at the end of it, when you work yourself through it, that's when, you get that sense of accomplishment internally. Plus also you're making yourself better in what you do.
Is there a job that you've done, well, either since you've been here, maybe in your past life, that pushed you outside your comfort zone? You think you grew from it?
Yeah, there was in the past life, we had gone through a lot of changeover, and so we had really struggled with our warehousing team fulfilling orders going out. So we were in peak golf tournament season. We had a couple of golf tournaments that were back to back to back, and all of them were kind of dragging along because they were all missing components along the way. So there was a string kind of, a few years back to where it was like, there was a lot of sleepless nights, if you will, and a lot of long hours to kind of triage. But what happened in those moments were in the hard days, we were actually still training up our warehousing team, plus also our field ops teams, to where we were building them, even though we were working through some headaches and struggles, that we were making them actually stronger in that process, to where once we kind of got through that year, it was like, okay, so the next year came up, and then you're like, oh my gosh, you're just dreading it because you just know what you went through the previous year. Well, guess what? The next year with that team, it was amazing the how much better that they had, become through those struggles and through, just continuing to push themselves. So it's just been a wow thing for me, because I've always kind of considered myself like a coach or our mentor, right? That's the vibe I've liked. I've always liked to, if somebody was eager to learn, I wanted to help them, teach them, because I love what I do. I love the tent industry. And so I always want to share it with the people that want to know. And so when you sit back and you see the teams kind of come to life and really grow and get better, that's been the biggest thing for me.
It's fulfilling, and like it's an affirmation that you
Yes.
picked the right career.
Right.
Yeah. So today we talked in our construction manager meeting, Beth, that I don't think you were in today, right?
Well, I was in, but I had to go to my 6-week post-op.
Oh, right.
No
So
sleep.
this is another reason. So we're going to pause from talking about Josh for a second. So Beth had surgery on her shoulder, which is another reason why we haven't recorded in a while. But
okay.
but now you're just going to be doing cartwheels soon, right?
Well, no, 6 more weeks of being really light on it, she said. And then I can start gymnastics.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
I just marked my calendar.
I'm aiming for the supervisors meeting. I thought a few back
This
and
is what
springs
I'm
across the
thinking.
thing.
Yeah. So January, we can have a performance. This is good. I'll do interpretive dance and you can do gymnastics. Well, what I was going to say, and this is like a very off script thing, but just like live and happened, is Josh was talking today about a job that they had during our construction manager meeting, was talking about a job. They had like a particular set of challenges, and it was surrounding installing garage doors, which was not really in my vocabulary in the event industry. And I think Josh experienced the same thing. And what we do is we put up buildings that are intended to be up for 12 months, right? They're buildings. They're like, they got to be like operational and good. And there was a very small error in installation where the garage door was not plumb, and the cascading impact of that very small thing, where the door with like repair calls and all this stuff. And we found a solution. And it was all because the ground was a little bit it was not level, and the garage door was leveled to the ground as opposed to leveled to, we'll say, the earth, like the level, not level-ish, and like in the event world, you could do like level-ish and it was like fine, it's like just flat. And like, that's not the story. Like there's no ish. It has to be really precise for it to work. So I was just like, I observed it, like the live feed of Josh experiencing this and being like, oh, okay, I'm here. Thank you.
These are my trials, right? It's working through these things to where, the tent work is easy because I know it and I could do it, with my eyes closed.
Yeah.
But it's working with some of the accessories and some of the, even some of the accessories, when you take it from one site to a different site, they could work completely different. And this is definitely that case in point. It's just,
well, and a tent in Louisiana is completely different than a tent, say, in Illinois, just from the humidity factor. So you have a whole different animal to deal with at that point in time. I learned things about them that I didn't even know I wanted to know.
Yeah. And you don't have alligators in your tent in Illinois. You only have them in Louisiana.
True. That is very true. And they don't come frequently, just when they're hungry. They come looking for the gumbo, Liz. They're coming for the gumbo.
I don't want them either way. I want them not there. And I don't like the bears in Pennsylvania either. Like the whole thing. They're just, I don't want them near my things. I can't. Today is a really big day at the Wilson house.
What's going on?
Jake went out this morning hunting and he got a giant buck. And right now he is going to the woods to look for it, to retrieve it. But We're fairly certain. And so that's been the excitement today.
That's awesome. Wait, is this mountable?
This thing's huge. It's going to be the whole freezer. So
right. So we want it mounted on the wall in the background of all of your meetings from moving forward.
This is like, I don't even know myself. I don't even know myself.
The next podcast will be all of Liz's recipes about the different things you can make with venison.
This is what I was.
Do you eat venison?
That's what I eat venison? I am like a master chef. Well, first of all, yeah. Okay. There's no actual certifications or anything. This is just something I've claimed myself. Yeah. So I am a master, and I've embraced it. The venison is welcome into all protein. Yeah, so I'm good. It's lean. It's organic, ethically sourced. I'm here for it. So back to Josh, right? We took a couple of detours, but back to Josh.
Not us, never.
Well, I mean, most things are about me, but every so often we can just include other people. So we have these like guests, but it's air quotes, right? You know what I mean? Yeah.
We try to include them.
Yeah.
We try
every so often. So Josh, here's my question. What would you, if you could talk and coach your younger self, what would you say, hey, you should learn this sooner?
Patience. So I've, and probably I still have my scenarios now to where I have a little short on patience, to where obviously that bleeds over into your personal world as well. However, career wise and in the work world, I've noticed many times that being impatient has really hindered a situation, if you will. It's actually caused me to change up some stuff, in the work world, to where it's kind of like, sitting back thinking, I'm like, wow, if I would have just taken a breath and just, had a moment to kind of let that go. And that's one thing to where I've learned later in life, to where you take that breath, think through for a moment, maybe get yourself out of it, to where my younger self was not having any of that.
The hardest thing is to listen sometimes to somebody who's complaining and not defend a statement, or not to get upset at a statement. And you're right, it's a learning thing. You have to learn to let them get it all out, and then they're usually fine, but they need to get it out first.
Yes, a lot of times they need to be heard, right?
Yes.
And they want to know that they're heard.
Yeah.
And then I think in that process, that's where the support comes through, and that's definitely, a big key in a leadership role is being able to support and get to know teams, right? Get to know your people, so that way you can show up for them the way they need you.
I suppose I should learn patience. Do you want to teach me, Josh?
You can be Liz's mentor.
I'm incredibly impatient.
I'm not proficient. Okay. I'm still very novice in this.
We are all a work in progress. And I think that's worth
noting. That is worth noting. That is so true. We are a work in progress.
Right. Yeah. There's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. I think I've said that already, but yeah, right? Like, they're not the same. We just have a few more minutes, and then we'll wrap up. And so, Josh, outside of work, is what do you do for fun?
So I'm a very big outdoor kind of person. I'm based here in Florida. I'm born and raised in Florida, so I'm a beach bum. Majority of the year I'm at the beach, and that's my happy place. So any family get together, any getaway, stuff like that, we'll shoot over there just in an afternoon or anything. 9 times out of 10 you're gonna find me at the water. In the 1 to 2 months that Florida decides to participate in winter, then I'm usually just in nature. I just like being outside. I like being in the woods. I even like landscaping my yard. So I like kind of working working outside with plants, trees, and all kind of good stuff. So those are usually my 2 go-to spots. That's where you're going to find me.
Do you like removing leaves? I have a lot of those in my yard. You can come over anytime. You sure?
So that's the other
Sure.
side of it is I like chaos gardening. I don't like the nice, crisp, manicured everything. No, I like
Interesting.
true, like outside, like nature. So like I like the different textures, different heights and all that, but it doesn't need to have that nice straight edging right around your flower bed.
I literally brought edging. I got edging and yeah. So maybe we're not alike on some things. I thought we were aligned. And when it comes to, so I could appreciate it. Some wildflowers here and there, but generally it's controlled chaos is,
It has to be controlled. Yeah, controlled chaos for sure. But it takes me back. So I remember when I was a little kid growing up, there was like a block over was like my grandparents' family friend, and they had it was several acres, but it was right in the middle of Orlando, so it wasn't out in the country by any means. However, as kids, like there was big bushes and stuff, obviously trees and all that around throughout the yard. But we would always, as kids, we would go play in the yard because you could play hide and seek and all that. And so I think psychologically that's kind of hung with me, and so like that's what I try to create is at my house now is just a little.
Mhm.
The Zen garden.
Yeah, well, it's like an environmental association. Yeah, I completely get that. That's awesome.
Okay, I'm shifting to the sports related question real quick because you're in a state with multiple
Geez.
teams.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. Inquiring minds have to
geez.
know, who are you supporting?
So I will tell you that I'm not a diehard fan. Okay. So I have teams that I like, but I'm not, if they lose this weekend, I'm good with it at the same time. So the Buccaneers, I've done an extensive amount of work for Tampa Bay throughout all the years. I used to set up their training camps. So that's a little close to my heart. So I would say professionally, I'm leaning more with the Buccaneers. Jacksonville is probably a close second. Done a lot of work for the Jacksonville Jaguars as well. But college, it's not proud to say it, and for the last few years, but Florida Gators is where I'm at. But we're certainly nothing to brag on at the moment. So I'm usually a pretty quiet fan.
Gotcha. I went to Auburn. I can relate.
So
I can totally relate.
Your friend from New York that's never followed any professional sports ever does not know what sport any of those teams are. So I just letting you know that. Okay. And I'm not even ashamed. I'm not even ashamed. Like, I'm saying this
honey.
publicly, but like, I don't even care. You could like lie to me and tell me it was, I don't know, like anything.
It was football.
Yeah. I'd be like, sure. Yeah. That's what sounds correct. Correct. Totally lie to me. So just so you know, that's my level of interest. And I live in a town whose entire economy is connected to a football team. So
you're transitioning is what you're saying.
I mean, I support, I'll wear the color and stuff, but like, I have no idea.
Don't ask you any stats or anything.
I don't even know what a touchdown is. I don't know. I know the metaphors that people use like in meetings and stuff, but like, other than that, I can't. We'll do, I don't know. We're trying.
This is one of those girls raised in the South thing. Football is a must. Like,
yes.
Must know.
Oh, man. What a great chat with you, Josh.
I enjoy getting to know you.
It's been so awesome having you on the team. I'm hearing great stuff. Your reputation is really stellar in just a short time. So
thank you.
And your energy is so good for us right now. So good.
I try because I have found that the energy does help. So, it's one of those things, even to myself, it's the fake it till you make it, even for yourself.
Well, you're doing great.
And he smiles, and that's our fundamental for this week. Smile.
That's it.
Yeah, it's our favorite.
He's a smiling. You have the smiling eyes, right? It's like it's your whole face. So that's great. Yeah. Well, thanks so much, guys. I hope you have a wonderful weekend and
a happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Thanksgiving's right around the corner. This might come out after Thanksgiving, but I feel like by the time it comes out, everyone is going to be stuffed with turkey.
And ready for Merry Christmas.
Right. Yes. Transitioning into Christmas decorating. Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, have a great weekend.
You too.
You as well. Good to see y'all.